The white line represents the swing plane, and of course the swing plane is dictated by the length of the shaft and where the hands are at setup position. His hands are pushed a little ways away from his body, probably too far. Part of that is because of our physiques. Everybody's a little different, but also because he's got kind of a rounded spine off here. We'd like to see him work on getting his spine a little straighter at setup. The nice thing about the shaft, though, it does run up just to about 90 degrees to where the tilt is. And in this case, the tilt I just measured from his hip through his ear. And you can see that his spine is more upright than that. So he's bending kind of a little bit to get there. But as we get older, it's not as easy to have that limber back look that you see on tour all the time. Let's go ahead and slow this down. He's working on trying to get the club to stay a little bit more on or below the plane on the takeaway. Let's see what he does here. We'll slow this way down. He's been lifting the club pretty vertically. That's a waggle there. Sometimes 8th speed seems real low. See how the club is coming up and outside the hands. Hands are lifting. Now he's got to rotate a lot in order to get into any kind of position. Then he's going to collapse. He's almost letting go of the club, and then he's going to come in and try to get back to the ball. Let's back up to see a few critical points here. The first critical point on the backswing is going to be how far away from the line, how far away from the body gets his hands. See, the hands now should still be down on the white line. His shoulders haven't rotated hardly at all. The shoulders need to rotate on a line parallel to the white line. I'll draw that in red. We'll kind of come right on down. We'd like to see the shoulders rotate on that line right about there. And you can see that the shoulders aren't rotating on that line at all. So there's his first critical point. He's not taking the club back in what's called a one-piece takeaway. I like to feel like I'm just pushing the handle of the club straight back down the target line parallel to my toes, and I'm pushing it back with my left hand. Now what he's going to do is he's going to roll over a lot. Notice how the club face is rolling towards the sky a little bit here. He's up on the upper swing plane, but you can still see his shoulders aren't anywhere near the red line plane. That's why he's pulled up and out of the shot. He's more erect than he was at startup. Notice the ears are 6 or 8 inches past the blue line. So he's really got himself out of position now, and it's going to take a very athletic move with great hand-eye coordination to be able to even get back to the ball at 75, 80 miles an hour. So see what happens here. Now he's going to come up a little further, and right about here he starts letting go of the club. Let me get rid of the red line. I'll blow this up a little bit if I can do it. Move it over. You can see how he's letting go of the club. That's a fake way to get in what feels like a bigger backswing. And he's really not swinging back. He's just folding his left arm and letting go of the club a little bit. And that puts him in a position where he's lost control of the club completely, and he's lost all the width of his swing. The hands should be up in here somewhere. A little stretch out there. Get that elbow up on the white line, the trail elbow, and get the left arm as far away from your head as you can. You want that left hand way away from you. So he's going to start the club down now, getting back to the normal size. And there he's going to kind of dive out over the top where the club is going to be way above the swing plane. He does a nice job of dropping it back in the slot, but because his hands are so high, the club is still high. Now picture where he'd be if he had his hands back down on the white swing line. He would be in a great position to come on through, but what happens is they come up, and he's way up and out of the shot, and he's going to kind of top it. See how the ball's not going in the air at all, going low and squiggling off to the left? That's because he's catching it on the heel. And the reason you catch it on the heel is because as the club comes up off the ground, it also moves a little further away from your body, and you're going to catch the ball on the heel. So we're going to work on getting him taking the club back with a nice low and slow one-piece takeaway up and down the white line.